farm laborers. You two look like you could produce good farm laborers. We insist you marry. So now people are ignoring the fact that the federal government wants to dictate to churches what insurance or what things they must cover under insurance. And that the churches or the religion's belief system should never actually come into it. What's the big deal, right? Took away marriage. Why not start taking away belief systems? I'm upset over the fact that the Secretary of Health and Human Services has recently ruled completely under her own authority that everybody who pays for health insurance, everybody, will be charged an extra $1 a month on your premium that goes to pay for abortions. Everybody. It doesn't matter what you think of abortions, doesn't matter what your church thinks of abortion, it doesn't matter what your belief system is. Don't care. You will do it. Period. Gave myself chills. Because I just got to thinking about all the countries that had such dictatorial power who started doing things like forced sterilization. Don't want certain groups of people around. We'll make them get abortions. Then we'll sterilize them. Then we don't have to worry about them anymore. Freedom isn't free if it's dictated to you by the government. And churches have already lost a large part of their power. Most people aren't aware of this fact. By federal law, I am not allowed to stand up here and either advocate or denounce any political candidate or political issue that may be up for a vote. Well, I can. But if I do, then the IRS swoops in, takes away my tax-exempt status of our church, and hits us with all kinds of penalties and fines. So you can have freedom of speech, as long as you don't say the things we don't want you to say. And I'll tell you why that's a scary thing. Foundation of our nation, our battle of independence, it was the ministers who did the most to lead the way. The ministers roused their people up on Sundays, denounced the king, denounced the parliament, denounced the laws they passed. It was the ministers that organized the militia. It was the ministers that organized the information. There was a network of spies throughout all 13 colonies, and almost all of the information passed through the hands of ministers. Quite a few militias were led by their minister. It was so bad that one of the British commanders signed death warrants for ministers. Referred to them as the Black Robe Brigade. And if only we could get rid of them, we could crush this rebellion. And I guarantee you, the people that passed the law that silenced me on certain issues knew their history. knew that it's we ministers, we Black Robe Brigade, no matter what we wear, who were instrumental in ensuring we had a nation. Oh well. I guess I can turn a blind eye when they come to take away one group. And I can turn a blind eye when they come to take away a second group. You better not shed any tears when they come for you. We've got to contact anybody you can. Contact the Department of Health and Human Services. Contact your congressman. Contact your senator. Be a pest. Tell them to leave our religious freedom alone. Don't take any more of it away from us. Because we've got to always remember that it is we, the people, who formed this country, who bleed for this country, who are this country. And we got to get our voices heard. There's that saying, let freedom ring. It doesn't ring from the Liberty Bell. It comes from here. It comes from each of us. So let us not stand around and watch as they slowly erode away another freedom of religion. Let your voices be heard and really confuse them. An old saying, smile at your enemies, make them wonder what you're up to. Don't let your voices be heard in anger. Don't let your voices be heard in threat. Smile. Smile while you demand your rights. Be joyous. Let freedom ring. Let them hear it. But let it be that I want my freedom. And I want everybody to have their freedom. Because you love freedom. That is how you let it ring out. And with that, I'd like to close, and we'd like to take up our free will offering.